Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in about a minute with the Marriott International information session. We're just waiting for a few more people to join, and then we will get started with our presentation today. All right, we got a nice number of people on the call right now, so how about we go ahead and get started? So I just want to welcome everyone to today's information session that is with Marriott International. I'm LaVonda Taylor, so I'm going to be your host for today. And so I'm an employer relations specialist here at the University of Arizona Global Campus, and I am thrilled to have everyone join us today as we explore some exciting career opportunities with Marriott International. So before we get started, let me just take a second and go over a few housekeeping notes. First, this session is being recorded, and for those that have registered, you will receive a recording via email in the next few days. Secondly, throughout the presentation, we will be answering your questions. Please use the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen to submit your questions, either with your name or anonymously. Please also engage with us in the chat. We're all here to help you. We have members of the career service team here as well, and we will do our best to answer as many questions as possible, both during and after the presentation. If you do use the chat feature, please make sure to select everyone when you're using that feature. And last, if you have any technical difficulties, we do recommend that you log out of Zoom and then log back in. So now I'll introduce our guest speaker for today. Welcome, Nancy Stanford. Nancy is the Market HR Recruiting Manager for Marriott International's Western region. She has over 8 years of expertise in the workforce development and specializes in recruiting candidates, fostering partnerships with community and government organizations, and promoting career services in hospitality industry. So Nancy does bring a diverse background in staffing, recruiting, employability training, sales, marketing across sectors like government, higher education, and vocational training. And she is passionate about providing transformative coaching and opportunities that help individuals achieve their career goals. Nancy has directly and indirectly supported hundreds of individuals in finding employment across various industries, and that includes healthcare, construction, administration, logistics, and now hospitality. So again, I want to welcome Nancy, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the presentation over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, or wherever you're from. I'm sure we all should be in the afternoon time. Yes, I'm excited to be here. My name is Nancy Stanford. Thank you all for being here. I am the HR Market Recruiting Manager for Marriott International's full-service Arizona properties in the Phoenix Metroplex. I have about 14 properties, and there are about 3 down in the Tucson-Marana area. So if you live in Arizona, you'll know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, how many of you have stayed at a Marriott hotel or are familiar with our brands? If so, will you please add it to the chat? Will you do me a favor and add it to the chat, please? I'd love to see some of the hotel brands that you're familiar with or that you've stayed at. That'd be really, really exciting for me. Now, today I will be sharing information about our company. We're going to wrap up with some hiring tips, and then hopefully we'll get an opportunity to answer some of your most pressing questions about working in the hospitality industry. We really have come a long way, you can see from this picture, but we've never forgot where we started. As you may have heard, Marriott International actually started as a 9-seat root beer stand in Washington, D.C. It was owned and operated by a young couple still in their 20s who spent their honeymoon driving 3,000 miles across the United States in a Model T Ford. Their determination and pioneering spirit would really serve them well in the years to come because it really helped to set a standard for those who would follow us in business. And from that humble beginning, the Marriotts have built their business through hard work. We built our business through commitment and delivering the very best products and services possible. We hope you've had that experience if you've ever stayed with us. Over the years, we've grown continually because we always continue to raise the bar. We're always looking for a newer market, or a newer, better way to do things in order to help assist us with reaching and serving our customers. Now, along the way, this particular couple and their legacy has instilled their people first philosophy. That's really big for us because we are in a people business, right? So that foundation of service, integrity, and opportunity has created and has really served us well, with me being that main catalyst for allowing us to aspire to achieve things over these last 90 years. We continue to reach our goals. Just so exciting to be a part of an organization like that. In fact, you can see from our company that we have more than 9,000 properties all around the world. We are located in more than 138 countries. We speak more than 85 languages throughout our properties. And so we are definitely an organization that is continually growing. Our growth is fueled by our strong expansion in North America, Asia, and many markets around the world. So this is truly an exciting time to be in the hospitality industry. We want you to bring your business background, your hospitality, your managed and service backgrounds. They all fit very, very well in the hospitality industry. And what you may not realize is that we do have a large number of brands that are part of the Marriott portfolio. So I can't see what you put in the chat, but hopefully some of these look familiar because they do include brands such as our signature Marriott hotels and our other hotels that have the Marriott name right in the brand's title. We also have unique brands such as the Edgy Moxie Hotel brand, and we've got those luxury hotel brands such as the Ritz-Carlton and the St. Regis. So just some wonderful, wonderful places to stay. And you might be asking yourself, so why do we have so many brands? Well, we do that. It's because of our customers. It's the demand from our customers. They are always looking for something unique. We are always positioned to do something that allows us to splurge on folks that are looking for an exotic honeymoon, or maybe they're in their 20s and they're looking to travel, or maybe they're traveling on business. So that is why we do what we do, so that so Marriott Brands will be an organization that it has something for everyone. And that's why you might see several Marriott branded hotels all within a few miles of each other. You might live near a Marriott brand, and based on these brands that you can see, now you may realize that, hey, that's a Marriott brand. And I will tell you that we are the #1 hospitality company in the world. Marriott has been noted for being the most recognizable brand in the world. And at the helm is our executive chairman, which is the board of director, which is J.W. Bill Marriott Jr., and president and chief executive officer, Tony Capuano. Marriott's North Star is, if you take care of the associate will take care of the guests, and the guests will come back. This quote from Mr. Marriott is embedded in everything we do as a company. We hope that if you've stayed at one of our properties, you felt that and you've seen this particular philosophy play out. And this also leads us to our 5 core values. They really embody everything that we do at Marriott International. It's all stemming from our roots, as we talked about a few slides ago. Our roots are to put people first. That's one of the first core values. This vision drives the way we do business, and it's perhaps one of the things that you hear most about working at Marriott. Pursue excellence is the next thing. We have a dedication to our customers for service excellence, and embrace change. Success is never final. We are always evolving. We hope that you are too. And act with integrity. How we do business is just as important as the way that we do business. So it's very important to us. In fact, another important core value for us is to serve our world. Our spirit to serve makes our culture more vibrant. It allows us to have a stronger business, and it allows us to make the world a better place. We hope that these core values actually resonate with you, because we have a vision to be the world's favorite travel company, and our purpose is to open doors of opportunity. And if you take a look at what I've spoken about in the past slides, you can see that has remained true for us for the 90+ years that we've been in operation. So how does a world-class company do this? Well, we do it by attracting some of the best talent and offering them competitive benefits such as on-the-job training, tuition reimbursement, full-time, part-time jobs, flexible schedules, free meals, weekly pay, hotel discounts, management and training programs such as our Voyage program, and an outstanding reputation for leadership and hospitality. And here's more what that looks like here on the screen. You can see that we provide travel perks and benefits with discounted room stays at our hotels where you can explore the most expansive portfolio and travel destinations in the world. We offer recognition and we honor and encourage leadership and exceptional service. And what I love about it is the growth opportunities. Marriott believes in a career that flourishes with you. In fact, we offer professional development, mentoring, and training to help you get where you want to go. It's an exciting time to be a part of the hospitality industry. It's specifically with the Marriott. And we know that you've worked hard to accomplish your goal. So now is the time to be. And in this video that I'll show you in a moment here, we want to share what that means to us. Turn up your volume.
Whoever you want to be, you deserve a career that fulfills your purpose. You deserve to dream without limits. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. Join a team where everyone has a voice. Belong to a community where you are included. Be inspired by what's possible and discover your own future. Be challenged, grow, and achieve your ambition. At Marriott, be yourself. Begin your purpose. Belong to a global community and become the best version of you. At Marriott, be you.
All right. So what does it mean to be a Marriott associate? Well, being a Marriott associate, it involves really a deep sense of belonging and recognition. Again, you know that we work as a team. We are people-oriented folks. So there's a saying that they say, we can always we can always train you for skill, but we can't hire you for attitude. Well, Marriott appreciates each person's talent, and it creates a family-like environment where teamwork ensures that that guest feels at home. So this supportive culture really helps many associates build these lasting careers. It's so many wonderful stories that I hear time after time working in HR. So I know it's true. It's so exciting to be a part of it. And now let's talk a little bit about how we bring these values to life at Marriott. Well, one of the ways that we do that is that we provide a variety of associate resource groups or ARGs. You can find a sense of belonging in a culture that values you by offering these spaces that encourage learning, innovation, networking, and even personal and professional development. I honestly signed up for just about all of them because I found community and education among them all. So we hope that that's something that interests you. And with our purpose to open doors of opportunity, we believe in promoting from within. Really, many of our managers started off in entry-level roles like housekeeping or front desk and are now directors of engineering and human resources and general managers. So no matter where you start or what position you begin with, we are here to help support your upward growth and discover those opportunities that you want to explore. So we hope that you'd let us help you get started and see how far you can go. In fact, here are different departments that a person can get started in. I'd love to know if there's something that you might be interested in. So hopefully you're wondering, how do I get started? I hope that's our next step. So I'll tell you, the selection process begins by applying online at www.careers.marriott.com. Once you reach the website, You can view all the available positions in the world. You can narrow your search by adding your zip code, or once you've selected your position, you can hit the apply button and it will ask you to create an account. So here's how that application process begins. Candidates will need to create their account using an email or phone number, just like this. Next, you will be asked to fill out a profile. This profile that you create, you'll be able to save that information. It'll be able to save your prior employment details, your education, your any other submitted applications, etc. So once you complete that job application, it's going to be forwarded to a hiring manager for review. So please keep in mind that there is no rotation of applications. So you will need to submit an application for each position, but they have saved the majority of your information. So you'll just have to make sure that each applicant knows that they'll have to reapply to a position. Lastly, let us know where you heard about us. Make sure you choose the correct source when you get to this box in red, and you can see that in red, that area there. So we would love to know that you came from University of Arizona Graduate College. Did I say that right? If I don't, please correct me in the chat. But with that being said, we also encourage you that if there's an option within the application process to let us know that you're a veteran, please do so as well. And applying for some types of positions, I do need to let you know this, will require taking an assessment. I know that you're probably done and tired of taking assessments, but there are some positions that do require this assessment. The assessment measures your core hospitality skills. So are you someone that would go above and beyond hospitality? Are you welcoming? So it's looking for that kind of a skill set and your job related competencies, but also we encourage you to make sure that you take your time, you don't rush through the questions, and the assessments can be taken in 27 languages. So there is some availability there to take them in different languages if needed. So here's just another quick look at the selection process. So you're going to begin by applying online at careers.marriott.com. You're going to fill out the profile, complete the assessment, and then if you have any applicable, if that assessment is applicable, and then you're going to do an interview if you're qualified. All right, so that's just a quick little step-by-step on what you can expect. It may not be exhaustive, but that's just a quick look at how that works. And then lastly, but not least, I wanted to provide you some helpful tips, okay? Your experience and skills should line up with the job description. It does not have to be 100%. You're going to want to pass that assessment in the application if applicable. You do need to know your job number or requisition number. They're intertwined. It means the same thing for someone in HR, okay? Take your time completing the assessment. It may ask questions that require memory and recall. So just take your time doing so. Use keywords at the very beginning of your resume. You probably know these things already, but we want you to target that resume so that you make it easy for the recruiter. We're only spending a few seconds at a time looking at resumes as we go through, okay? So make it easy, put those keywords up at the top. You need to change or modify per position. Let us know if you're a veteran. I've mentioned that several times before. That's important to us. It's an important initiative that we have. Save the job description and job number for recall and keep applying. Nothing's worse than if you applied for 3 jobs and we call you and you're not quite for sure what position we are talking about. Okay, so do yourself a favor and save the job description and the job number for recall, but also keep applying if you haven't heard from anyone. And I will say that in the interview, you need to be prepared to answer STAR questions or behavioral-based questions. Hopefully you've heard of that term before. Those are questions like, tell me about a time when you had to work with someone you didn't like or had an upset customer. You're going to answer with a situation, which is the S, the task, which is the T, the action, which is the A, and the result, which is the R. It spells out star. That hiring manager will want you to emphasize your problem solving, your communication skills when answering these questions. So you can explain the conflict, you can provide examples that illustrate how you resolved it or how you and other team members resolved it. And here's the fun fact, though. Here's something that you should take heart. If you've gotten invited to the interview, this is from HR, this is from recruiter, it means they want you. At this point, the hiring manager is looking to answer three things. Do I like you? Can I do the job? And are you a good fit? If you can leave that meeting with these three questions answered, you will be a top candidate. That sound good? I hope so. I hope it alleviates some stress there. Now, lastly, but not least, we want you to manage your personal brand. Okay, this is very important in this day and age of social media, because your brand determines what you value, and it will help you identify and create your personal brand. We've identified three core elements of a personal brand, and I want to share that with you. They are performance, image, and exposure. We call it PI. Remember that in the early stages of your career, performance makes up about 50% of your personal brand. Many of you already know this, but it's crucial to exceed those expectations to stand out when you're at that point in your career. Image typically accounts for about 30%, so where you focus on building a strong positive reputation. And finally, exposure represents 20%, where you start to manage your visibility and presence, particularly on social media. As you grow and take on higher roles, that pie shifts, okay? It's going to shift. Your performance may not be as high because you might be delegating that work to other folks, some of the labor-intensive work to other folks, but your exposure will increase as you strive to make and maintain those meaningful connections. That all makes sense? Good. Again, I want to thank you for your interest in working for the Marriott. Here's a list of contacts for folks just like me in your area. So just like myself in your area, you can reach out to them with your name, where we met, a job number, and we'll be able to forward your information if you qualify. Now, the QR codes on the QR code on the left will allow you to sign up for a weekly job listing or just a job blast that I send out. It's for Arizona. And on the other side is our career site to search for the work, to search for work nationally and abroad, excuse me. So if you're wanting to just get to the career site, that'll take you right to the career site. I hope this information has been helpful. My information is right at the top there, and I am available for any questions. Thank you so much. Oh, I'll leave this up if you want to take a picture.
That's awesome, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. I'm like, oh, Marriott is amazing. I learned a lot today too. I learned a
Love
lot
it, love
today. We
it.
do have some questions, so I will just ask some of the ones that students have put into the Q&A. So someone asked, is LinkedIn a good place to keep an eye on available positions for Marriott?
Yes, that is a great place to keep an eye on available positions. In fact, I would encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn, if you will.
All right, so students, if you're on the line and you're taking note of these contacts on here, maybe find them on LinkedIn and continue to follow up and see some of the posts that they're putting out there. Okay, so one of our students had a question about for management or upper management roles, are there 3+ rounds of interviews?
Yes, there are. I'm like, I believe so. Yes, there are. Yes, there were about 3+ rounds. Great question.
All right. So how long does it typically take to hear back if you are applying for roles?
Usually within about 2 weeks or so. We do try to fill our positions in less than 30 days.
That's great. And I know you had mentioned the STAR method. And so we had several students just ask if you could maybe spend a second just briefly explaining that a little bit more.
Certainly, certainly. So the STAR method is a behavioral-based way of interviewing, and you're more than welcome to Google it. They'll get tons of information on it. But the STAR method basically wants to find out how you handle conflict, how you think, processes through. And so it's a if I say it correctly, if I'm wrong, let me know, is an acronym for situation, task, action, and result. When they ask you a question, it usually starts off with something like, tell me about a time when you hear that, tell me about a time when, or how do you handle an upset customer, or, some type of conflict. You are going to want to start to think about your Rolodex of experiences. And I wouldn't wait until you get into the interview. I'd have a few stories that you can share of experiences where you had to use this method, where you're able to tell that the listener what the situation is. You're able to tell the listener what the task or the action was and what the result of it is. You always want to end the result very positive. At the end, the customer left happy. I'll give you an example of one that I use. When I worked in retail, I had a customer come up to the counter. She was very upset because we could not return her item without a receipt. The action of this was that I explained we can't give you money for the item, but I can bring you out to the floor and help you find a similar item. I also have a coupon so that you can get an additional discount based on the item that you choose. The result was that the customer left happy. So if you break down what the STAR method was in that story, you're going to find that the situation was the upset customer. The task or action was that I had to figure out a way to make her happy, bring her out on the floor and find her something else and give her a discount or give her a coupon. And the result was that she left happy. So hopefully you have those kinds of stories in the back of your work experience, or while you've been working as a team in your classes, working with folks that maybe haven't carried their weight, and kind of how you had to handle that situation with a person, maybe speak with them. The result is that they understood how important, their role is to get the project done, things of that nature. So I hope that answers your question.
That was a great example. Thank you for sharing that, Nancy. I always think of the method as just a great way to ensure that your answers are focused, they're relevant, and that you really do demonstrate problem solving, your problem solving skills, and you highlight your accomplishments. So I feel like that example that you gave was great. You included all of those things, and that just is a great way for you to stay focused when you're in those situations and you are being asked these questions. So thank you for sharing that. So next question for you. I have a student that wants to know if there's any part-time positions for students, and if there are any student reimbursement work.
Yes, absolutely. Both of those. We have all the things. So yes,
We got everything.
Our properties are 24/7. So while we're at home sleeping in our nice comfy beds, there are people staying in our hotels that are sleeping in our nice comfy beds. So yes, we have full and part-time roles for folks. And yes, we do provide tuition reimbursement. And so that could be, maybe you're wanting to go on and get an additional certification. Maybe you want to get a SHRM certification or things of that nature. So we do have those opportunities available for you.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. You just never know. Someone might want to, like you said, go for a higher credential, and that can be a great opportunity for them to do so. So we have a student that said that they are living currently on the East Coast, and they want to know, does Marriott hire out of state? And if so, do they offer any travel or relocation expenses?
Yes. So yes, we do hire out of state, and we do offer relocation for certain roles. Okay. So the great thing about working for a Marriott is that we hire internally. So if you're already working for one of us at one of our properties, whether you're working full-time or part-time, and you do need to move to another location, it is a job that can go with you. anywhere, right?
That's great. Everyone loves the flexibility now, so that's good to know. And do you know if this just kind of goes with another question? If that is a situation for a student, are the interviews available on Zoom or do you have to be in person?
You know, we will do everything we can to accommodate our internal customer, right? So
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I know you did talk a little bit in the presentation about some of the professional development that Marriott offers. Are there any opportunities that exist for leadership development?
yes, absolutely. So on the one hand, for those, and you guys are grad students, so I was going to say those that are just finishing their undergrad, they would qualify for our voyage management and training program. For those of you that are already working for us, you would qualify for, here in Arizona, we call it the Way Forward program. And it's a wonderful program, 6 to 12 month program that allows individuals to go through a management and training where they're out visiting other properties and they're working with other way forwards. We call them high potential folks, right? So you're high potential, you're great, you're great, you're great. So with that being said, we want to make sure that you're able to go and work with general managers and directors and things of that, learning operations and learning how the organization works so that when you are finished with that 12-month program, you're able to go on and be on a list that would qualify you to apply, or we're going to tap your shoulder and say, hey, we've got this opportunity open. You're part of the Way Forward program. You complete the program. There's graduation. It's just a wonderful, wonderful way for us to keep those high potential folks with us and retain that talent.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I can imagine if you're in a position and you're wanting to move forward and that opportunity is available for you to get involved and you know that it's a direct path to something that you want to do, it's great that they offer that. Not too many companies are offering those direct pathways to get to where you want to be. So that is really awesome that you do that. Just piggybacking off that, are there any specific qualifications that they look for in a candidate?
Yes, you do need to be there about 6 months. So we do need to 30, I need to know that you're a good employee. And you can't have any strikes in your work history background while you've been with us. And so that's pretty much it. And just have a willingness to want to grow and have a passion for our company and the folks that we serve.
That's amazing. So is this kind of like they offer like a mentoring program?
It's all of the things, right? So it's
All of the
mentoring,
things. Okay.
it's traveling to other properties and learning new departments. And it's just so exciting because it allows you to find, hey, this is the area that I really felt passionate about. I want to do the work in that area. Or I loved what the general manager does at this particular property. I could see myself being that or doing that. So just a really, really great way for them to grow their career.
Amazing. I love that. Let me see what else we have, Nancy. There's a few questions still in here. So one question we always get, because of course we're an online institution, does Marriott usually have any remote administrative positions or remote in general?
They do. So if they went to the job board, they'd actually be able to search by remote positions and search by admin roles. So some of the best places to click, I would say, if you're going to filter out, would be corporate. That's a lot of where we have some those corporate roles are typically roles that if they're going to be remote, that's the best place to start.
Okay, that's awesome. Good to know. Everyone wants some flexibility in their work schedule, so that is great to know. I'm sure that you had the contact information up, and we'll include that when we send out the video that for any. But someone asked specifically if you had any connections with the. Can you clarify if you are connected with Arizona or Baltimore hotels? I know you're in Arizona, so I'm not sure if the student is asking if you have connection with Baltimore hotels. How would that work if
Are
they
they
wanted
saying
to?
if they're saying
Yeah.
Biltmore because they're I
Oh,
don't
Biltmore. I'm
okay,
sorry.
no
Yeah.
problem, no problem. No, the Biltmores are, I believe, Hilton properties, but
Oh, okay.
I do, maybe I can backtrack. I do know the person. I've seen that person, right? I may have her business card somewhere that does what I do. She's in my same circles, but
Okay.
I couldn't
So
help
do
you.
you recommend if students are looking in another area that's not specifically the contact we give, just to reach out to an individual and see if they know who they're looking, because I know this is kind of a tight circle with the hospitality industry. So
Networking is always great. I'll never dissuade someone from networking and seeing what options are available to them. So absolutely.
amazing. Thank you for that, Nancy. I appreciate it. So let's see, do we have anything else? Someone asked about pay transparency. Is that something that Marriott is doing? I know a lot of companies have switched to that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I can give you a little bit of information about it, but yes, to the answer, yes, we do have pay transparency. In fact, on many of our positions at the very bottom of the job description, it'll say, kind of give the range of what the pay is. And then also on the job board and some positions, it'll actually say it right there on the job board, that this is what they pay per hour, that type of thing. So yes, yes, we're part
Amazing.
of that. And that's
Okay.
something that we are continually growing and addressing.
I mean, I feel like that's the best way. I love when companies do that. It doesn't waste the people that are hiring's time or the candidate that's applying time. So everyone's on the same page with everything. Let's see if we have any more. What a question about a resume. Do you advise that applicants use a short or a more detailed resume?
Well, given that we only are going to peruse it for a few seconds, but I would say that you want to make sure that all the relevant information to the position is on the resume. So if it requires it to be longer, I know for me personally, I have had to add additional relevant skills, even though I hadn't done that work in so many years, but I had done the work. So I wanted to make sure that they knew that I have that experience. So, you're going to have to target it as you see fit, but make sure that it's targeted, right?
Yes, make sure it's targeted. And I would just encourage our students, if you do have any questions about your resume, you can always contact Career Services. We have wonderful career advisors and they help with resumes and other things as well. But yes, that's great advice. So do you have, let's see what else we have. Someone asked about internships within HR. I know you said that there are a lot of opportunities for students. Is internship something that the Marriott offers as well?
Internships are possible. They are based on the property though. So if a person was interested in getting an internship, they can definitely search on the job board, type an internship and see which properties have posted that they're looking for interns. If they're interested in HR, they're going to need to identify a property that they'd be interested in and potentially work through someone like myself, someone like that list of folks, right, that I gave you, right? To let them know that I'm interested in an internship at your property at XYZ. I'm a college student. I know that we have a partnership with my school has a partnership with you all, and you would go from there. So it would be something individually based if it's not already posted on the job board.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. This is a question for you. What do you like most about working at Marriott?
I love the culture, the people. They are amazing. I have never worked for a company where from day one to I'm 2.5 years in, right, where the people were consistently, genuinely, they care about people. It's a people-oriented business, and they literally hire people that are people-oriented. And so that's just something that I love to champion about. It's just so great to be able to know that we are actually going to help you get to your next level. You just got to get your foot in the door, get started with us.
As enthusiastic as you are sharing that, I felt that. Like, yeah, it's a great place. I can feel that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think we're getting close to the end, but I do have a question about retirement. And someone asked, is it a 401k?
Yes, we do have 401k match at 5%. And we also have stock options. So not only your retirement, but let's build that legacy as well. So
Stock options are always good.
yes,
Yeah,
always.
it's always a good one. Okay. And so let's see, are there any more questions? Someone asked about opportunities for like PhD students. Is that anything like specific if you have a PhD
You know,
or?
you can start with you can start anywhere with hospitality. You just have to have a heart to serve people. So if you've got a heart to serve people and your PhD will fit well in an area that you think that's going to be a good fit, we're not going to dissuade you, but you do need to be able to identify for yourself how this is going to benefit the industry, the company, the property that you're going to go work for.
Great. Okay. You might know the answer to this question. You might not, but I'm sure you've heard recently about a lot of recruiters not getting back to some of the candidates, and they call, ghosting. How does Marriott kind of combat that with their recruiters, like with getting back to people that apply or reach out?
We've got a couple of ways. One would be folks like myself, right? So having you literally having access to us. There's nothing hidden. You had everybody's email, phone number, yada yada yada. So that's one. Two, we do use AI, Olivia, and she is obviously AI, and so she would contact you via text message or an email. And basically, she's wanting you to schedule a time for the interview. And then also you can reach out to any property that you have an interest in and contact HR and let them know. So there may be in some cases legwork that you'll have to do, but we're trying to make it personalized for you by individuals like myself and providing you information that you can actually speak with a live person or email us directly what your needs might be.
Okay, that's great. And I think that we need to reiterate that again. There aren't too many places that are giving you their email address, their phone number, telling you to connect with them on LinkedIn. And this is what we share with our students often. It is about networking, it's about connections. So I love the fact that you all are so transparent in sharing that information with students and telling them to follow up. So that's a great thing.
I saw somebody said, so you can contact, yes, you can. Make sure that you let them know, I was on a virtual, information session with Nancy Sanford, right? And this is XYZ, and I'm reaching out because of XYZ. Would you be able to help me? Here's the job number that I'm interested in, or whatever it is, however you want to say it, but make sure that you do that. Okay, so our service doesn't just extend to the customer that's in that facility, in our property. Our service extends to the people that we are connecting with, those future candidates and applicants. So.
Thank you for sharing that, Nancy. It's so sweet. Yes, you're like name drop. Tell them you know me. Yeah, tell them you know me. That's great. And then I have one final question before we get ready to wrap up. And so you might have answered this, but a student just asked, they want to have a better understanding about your journey. And so they want to know, like, what did you get your degree in? Like, what did you major in? And what is your current position and title?
I have no problem at all. So yes, so my journey, I have a background in communications, and I always wanted to do a role where I could promote companies, people, businesses. I'm a champion person, and that whenever you take those tests, and they always kind of say, well, what would you be great at? Well, you'd be great at promoting. So that's what I do. And so that has led me to get my bachelor's in communication. And with that being said, my role has every job that have taken has always been a role where I'm promoting or selling. Really, that's what it is, right? My goal is at the end of this that you're going to hop on our website and you're going to apply to a job. Like that's that I sold you, right? To do that. So hopefully you will all those folks that heard the message today will do that. So with that being said, it is bachelor's of arts in communication, and then my title is market human resource manager. And I've held titles such as business service representative. I have been a assistant director of admissions. So again, that's recruiting and sales, right? I have worked in career services as a career development specialist, employer specialist. I have worked for nonprofits, where I'm actually the center standards officer. So that person that's kind of like the principal. So all of those are areas where it's workforce development and helping folks continue their career trajectory and connecting them with the right people to help them get where they need to be, where they want to be.
Nancy, you know how excited I am that you shared that. This is a message we share with students often, not to put a lot of focus on the specific title or major,
Yes.
because there are a multitude of things that you can do with one major. Communications can go a lot of different directions, and this is the direction you chose. So I think that it's amazing that you shared that your path and all the titles that you've been able to secure with that degree is amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I wanted to just ask one more. I know that was my last one, but I have two people that asked about your veterans programs. If you have the information, you want to forward that to me, I can include that in the email, but is there anything you want to like share about the veterans programs?
I will say that we have a veteran initiative. So we want to
Okay.
hire a certain number of veterans each year. And so that there is an initiative. So it's always great when you let us know so that we can pass that along to those recruiters and say, hey, this person's a vet. Our goal is to
Good.
help get them that interview and help them once again get to that next level.
Okay, so if you are applying and you are a veteran, you need to go ahead and use the contacts that you got today and let them know. That's the message. Thank you so much for that, Nancy. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up. And I just want to remind everyone to connect with Marriott International and other hiring organizations via Handshake in your student portal. And I want everyone to keep an eye out on Handshake and UAGC Connect for any upcoming career services events. And everyone that registered today will receive the follow-up email that contains this recording and other valuable information about careers at Marriott International. And if you do have any other questions about your resume, cover letter, job search, please reach out to Career Services team at careerservices@uagc.edu, or you can contact us using Handshake. And before I let you go, please just take a moment to complete a quick confidential survey. It's going to pop up at the end of this session, and we really appreciate your feedback. It will help us to plan future events. Again, a big thank you to Nancy for her valuable contributions today. We really appreciate you coming. And thank you to all of our students and graduates. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate your participation, and we look forward to seeing you at future career service events. Thank you again.
Thank you. Congratulations, grads.